Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply. We as leather crafters can be very generous. We love to make the projects and we love to give these away. But from time to time, we have a holiday or an event or an occasion where we want to give away a number of projects to a number of people. Say extended family, friends, co-workers, or even better, how about a charity or an animal rescue? We can make a number of projects, donate those to them, they can sell them and bring in revenue. What better way to use our craft, right? Okay, so we need a project that's fast, simple, inexpensive, creative, looks very professional, and we don't have to worry about left-handed, right-handed, or sizing. Well, that narrows it down. Well, how about a professional keychain? Now, your first thought, keychain video, snooze fest. No, stick with me, because I like to take our keychain pack and make a little bit of a change. But in all honesty, these can look very professional. All right, so anything I use in this video, weaverleathersupply.com, or check below. We've got links there. Going to take you straight to the website. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So let's start on our punch table. Let's start right here because this is the easiest, simplest way to go, our round key fob kit. Now, we're going to look at this as is, but then we're going to step it up, go the direction I like to go with these. All right, but let's talk about this. Well, first off, it's Weaver. This is not a thin, cheap piece of leather from a scrap bin. That's a quality leather, and it's an 8 to 9 ounce. These are going to look good, and they're going to feel good. But secondly, I'll never be able to cut that shape by hand. This is perfect for a concho. We'll talk about that. But I'm never going to get a clean cut like that. And the per piece price from this kit, very affordable. Okay, so let's start right here as is. Well, we can always go with letter stamps or our leather stamps because there's so many possibilities here. We can make these unique to each person or just pump out a bunch of them. This is going to take about 1 minute. Now, on this point, being creative with our stamps, well, I've done the math here, okay? So at Weaver, say we have 80 stamps. Well, that's 80 designs. Technically, it's plenty more if we use that stamp in conjunction with itself. But let's don't go there. Let's do this. Let's add in a second stamp to our combination. That's 6,400 possibilities. Let's add another stamp. Now we're up to 500,000, 500,000 possibilities. And if we add one more stamp, we're at 40 million possibilities. So many ways we can get creative and make these unique to each person we give these to. Now, one more, because this is a great example of combining multiple stamps to be very creative. So let's start with our simple pine cone, standard stamping tool. Let's do our best to drop that right in the middle. Okay, we've got a good pine cone. Now let's come in with a floral stamp. And I love this design. It's very old school. But let's drop that right on the top of our pine cone. Make sure it's straight. There we are. We have got a perfect pineapple. There are so many ways to go with our stamps. So if we're going to give these away, let's get creative and have a great time with it. Okay, so now let's step these up a little bit. I like to add a small billet to my key fobs for a couple of reasons. Well, first off, again, not cheap, thin leather. When we bend that 8 to 9 around and we set a rivet, that's only going to leave enough room there for one split ring. Well, that's okay. That's how it was designed. But say we want to add multiple split rings or maybe a larger carabiner. Let's add a small billet. That's going to give us plenty of room for that. But also, now just my opinion, but when we add a billet to that, it just makes it look like a little bit more of a substantial product, okay? So let's start right here. On our fob, I'm going to come out from this hole about 1/2 inch, and let's just trim that, okay? On our billet, we absolutely can pull this out of scrap, but on this, we're going to go 2.5 inches long, 1/2 inch wide, and I'm going to drop a round hole in each end. Now on our ends, we can hit that with a round end punch, corner knife, or we can just clip the corners. All three are going to look good. So what I'm going to do, I'll clip 5, I'll make 5, I'll add 5 dye colors, top coat, then let's pick these up and add some decoration. And buff our last. Well, those look great. Well, first off, I'm using the Pro Dye on everything. But secondly, our Leather Balm top coat. So right there, that's the Pro Red with a Leather Balm. Is that not beautiful? We've got our black. That's our light brown walnut, and then one of my favorites. This is a 50-50 mix, white, brown, and mahogany. Okay, we've got these. Let's step over to our punch table. We could absolutely use the hardware that comes in the pack, the rivets and the split rings, and that would look good on any one of these. But at Weaver, we've got the flattened split rings. To me, that just looks like a quality piece of hardware. Multiple finishes. So let's do this. Let's go with the antique nickel for our black, antique copper. We've got to put that with our walnut, antique brass. How about our two browns? And then red, we've got to go with a nice bright nickel on that. Okay, so let's set our billet. I'm going to take a medium double cap. Let's go through the billet, through the body. Now, let's don't forget our split ring. I've done that so many times. So when you do that, just drill out your rivet and start again. So let's set this. Okay, looking good thus far. I'm going to do the same thing to these. Okay, we've got those three done. How about let's mix it up a little bit? How about we reverse our billet? So let's see, we're going with the antique brass. I'm going to drop this flesh side down. Let's come through. And let's set that. I'm going to do the same thing with the red. And there we go. We have contrasting textures there. That's a nice touch, okay? Let's reset here. Add some conchos. Now let's color coordinate with some conchos. Now I have to bring this up because it's making me crazy and I hope you're not the same way. I had a dye spill a couple of days ago. That's making me nuts in the video. Anyway, we know how that goes, right? Okay, well let's start right here. Well, we've got to go with the antique nickel feather concho. I love these. And as far as I can tell, everybody does. So let's do this. Let's lay that right in the middle of our fob. Let's press that in, and we know exactly where our hole needs to be. Now, punching a hole. Typically, a revolving punch, the largest punch is going to do it, but it's just a little bit small for a concho or a Chicago screw. But let's punch this, see what happens. Yeah, I can force that through there, but the best route to go, in all honesty, if we happen to have a 3/16 inch punch, this is the best for a concho and a screw. So let's punch that good. We've got a little larger hole now. So let's insert and notice how easy that goes in now. Okay, on our back, let's take a screw and I want to add a little bit of the Leathercraft cement to this because these, as well as Chicago screws, they can work themselves out over time. So let's just add a little white glue to that and let's screw that down. And there we are. What we have is a very clean, very professional key fob, and it feels good too. The weight of the leather and the weight of the concho, it feels like a quality product, okay? Next up, let's go with our antique copper because this is a good combination. And one more. Well, that is a beautiful color combination. Again, very professional, yet very easy, okay? We're going to do one more reset because now we've got a less expensive alternative to the conchos. Let's go over to our decorative cap line 24 snaps. I love these. We can build a project around the snap that we use, but they also make great conchos and a good bit less expensive than conchos, and we've got a great variety here. All right, let's start right here because I've got two colors, and we are going to start with the shotgun shell. That's exactly right. That's going to look good on either color, but let's go right here. So let's do our best to put that right in the center. And I'm going to press down. Okay, I know where my hole needs to be. Now on our revolving punch, this is a line 24 post. So we're going to come down maybe about the third tube down from the top. Let's punch that. Good, we've got that. Let's push that through. Now we don't have an anvil for this. Easy enough. We can take a piece of veg tan. Let's wet it. Now I can actually feel that concho sit down in that. It's going to cushion it and it's going to keep us from crushing the cap. So let's drop that in. Now, our little washers. These are 1/2-inch washers and they come in just about any of those little variety packs of nuts, bolts, and screws that we can get at a hardware store. But that's all we need. So let's take our mallet and let's just drive this just like a line 24. And there we are. How cool is that? That's a good looking keychain, and I know a lot of folks that would love to have one of these. How about on our red? Let's go. Oh yeah, always a favorite, a compass rose. So let's put this in on our red. And there we are. That's a good looking keychain. Now, one good point though, that's a smaller decoration. We could always fill in around that with a stamp, make a combination with the stamp and the compass rose. That would be beautiful. But the big point here, we can knock these out in no time and they look great. We've got the perfect project here for gifts. Simple, easy, clean, fast, and the best part, they look very finished and professional. These are going to make great gifts. Or if you donate these, good for you. I hope you have a great time with your key fobs, and I hope they make beautiful gifts. Good luck with your projects.